Welcome to episode 2 of Sick Jam Sundays. Today we're talking about The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones. And who do I have here to discuss this album with me? Is this LemonTart I see over here?
Hey guys, I'm LemonTart. I have a microphone, just like the band. You can find me at TardyArt on Twitter, at LemonTardy on Instagram. Check out my art. I don't do music, though. You don't need to listen to that. Here's Alex.
Hey guys, I'm Alex. I totally didn't take my shirt off.
Was it in the yard?
Actually, please stay warm and hydrated. Except,
No, please. I want a cold. I want a cold.
And
we're gonna be quoting these lyrics forever.
Yeah. I also want to be cold. I'm Graf, and I chose this album for this episode. So how do we start? Because
what's your history with the album? I guess just tell us about that.
Okay, should I start with that? Because yeah.
Wait, let's actually start with how long all of us have known the album for. Because you've known it for like a long time, right?
Yeah, it's
And Lemon has heard it for the first time for this
morning.
And I have heard it for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, I don't even.
So a mix of
think
impressions
I've known
here.
it for that long. Maybe just 2 years, but nonetheless, this is one of my favorite albums, if not my favorite album. At the moment, and I really fell in love with it last year during the time that I had I broke my knee, and then I was
had to take your shirt off.
I did have to take my shirt off for the surgery. Yeah. So yeah, it was just a time, really rough time for me, where I couldn't walk. I felt shitty, and it was fall too.
Hey guys, sorry I haven't disconnected in a while.
Hey Lemon, I'm just explaining
everything.
Just explaining my backstory.
Okay.
So it was fall, and I was in a shitty place mentally and physically, I guess, because I couldn't walk, and I think I just started listening to this album a lot, and just like the mood of it really helped me to get through this time in some way, because this album also deals with loss and like a downward spiral, and in the end it kind of offers like a glimmer of hope, and that kind of helped me, I guess.
Glimmer of hope?
Yeah.
Glimmer of hope?
It feels like more the opposite.
Yeah, there is one.
Well, we'll talk about that. There's like one in Map when he climbs. Anyway.
There's there's at least one song that is a glimmer of hope to me.
Yeah, no, like there is hope in there. It's just like the progression, the emotional progression is not hopeful at the end. It's like hopeful and then destroys the hope and ends terribly. But anyway.
That is true, sort of. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Keep going.
We will talk about this. So yeah, I'm really interested how you guys like this album, because I know it's one of my favorites. But yeah, so Alex, what's your relationship with it?
Yeah, so I found it a while ago. I don't remember when or how, but it was probably like more than 3 years ago at this point, and it was like around the time I was a pretty edgy teen, like more than now.
Impossible.
Listening to like stuff like Teen Suicide and Neutral Milk Hotel and Flat Sound and all that stuff. It's the only album I know of them, but I've heard it a bunch of times over the years. And like it's one of those albums I always like, I can only listen to the full album when I listen to it, and only while I also have the lyrics ready to read along. It's not an album where I just like feel like listening to a song of the album anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not an album for that. It's not really like a hit pop banger single sort of album. You kind of need to feel you need to take the ride it takes you on, you know? It's that sort of thing. It's a concept album.
Take the climb.
Take the climb. Yeah. Take the glide. My throat's fucked today.
Shouldn't have wanted that cold.
Holy shit. There's a song in this album called I Want Cold or something like that.
I want to be cold.
I want
Yeah.
Yeah, the only notes I have for that song is just very relatable.
Oh no. It's just a song about winter.
Man, like, I don't connect this album with, like, winter and cold stuff at all, even though all the imagery and stuff is about being cold. It's more like when you're, like, in the winter waiting for, like, a bus or something, and it's so cold that it's so cold and painful that it's, like, actually, like, a burning type of pain.
Alex, the cold is a metaphor. It's not actually cold.
You don't know.
It's pretty obvious.
That doesn't really matter. I get it's
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Interesting because the album feels.
But it's like also a story that it's also like about being like climbing up a cold snowy mountain and all that stuff. And there's snow on the cover. You know.
So Lemon, how was your experience listening to it for the first time?
This was very difficult to listen to. You told me like a week ago, oh hey, this is a breakup album, so I was already bracing for impact. And what I did is I read the lyrics while I was listening to the songs, and I listened to each song like a couple times, just so I could understand really what it was about. And you know, it was tough listening because a lot of what the author is talking about is about, you know, it's basically the author was apparently in this band that broke up, and the band broke up because he and his girlfriend broke up, and the whole album is about you know, the guy and his feelings of having to let that person go and wanting to win her back somehow but not being able to, and those sorts of feelings hit pretty close to home, and wasn't really in the particular mood to revisit that, so it was a tough album to listen to. Not sure if I would seek this out to listen to for pleasure. Probably requires the right mood to, you know, get into it, because it's not really like an uplifting message like we discussed earlier. It's just an album about this guy and the different ways he feels terrible, and then he's trying to do something about it and he fails. And the album ends with him just giving up temporarily until the next album, I guess.
You read a lot of different stuff in there than I do. Okay, but we'll discuss this when we talk
song by song,
about
I
the
guess, and
lyrics.
like discuss the meaning that we thought each song had.
Okay, so maybe we should give a little background information to who the microphones are. This is when this album was made. This was recorded in 2001. The Microphones is a project by Phil Elverum, who now makes music under the name Mount Erie.
Oh yeah,
And
I know.
I think this was his second full-length album that he recorded, and it's his. People say it's like his definitive album. Like, this is the album that defines the Microphones and I guess him. So yeah, it's sort of like a classic almost.
Yeah, seems to be the most well known by them by far from my brief research today.
Yeah. Okay, so the album definitely deals with loss in a way when it comes to the lyrics. Um, Lemon, you said he broke up with a band. How did you read that into it?
No, I mean, I was making research, and apparently he and his girlfriend were in a band called the Thunderclouds. So, in the first song, when it goes, the Thunderclouds broke up, he's literally saying that his old band broke up because of his relationship also breaking up.
Whoa, I didn't find that information. Okay.
Well, there it is. There you go.
Okay, that recontextualizes some stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Both are a kind of loss, and most of the album is specifically about,
where do we
one,
go from here?
more so than the band, anyway.
Well, favorite songs.
I really liked The Gleam Part 2 into Map, precisely because it's like the most uplifting moment, I guess. I was listening to the album and I was like having this glimmer of like, maybe he will make it through. Maybe he will feel good at the end. And Map is really cool because it has like this almost marching sort of rhythm to it in this section that's like with a piano and I don't know what it is, like a trumpet or something. It's like boom, 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 boom. But then that gets completely undercut into like this weird dreamy sequence in which you hear him like screaming and voices talking over each other, and then the song ends and the next one is incredibly sad. So it's like
interesting that you
say it's like the high
that's...
point and then boom, downhill.
Well, it's interesting that you say this is the uplifting song, because all I wrote down for Map in my notes is despair.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the despair of trying to fight against it. What I'm seeing here, it's like he's trying to
at least he doesn't want to be cold yet.
Get better by come on. He's trying to confront his feelings head on and trying to deal with them and understand them. And I feel like he, partway through the song, he gives up and then goes back to hurting himself with escapism thoughts, and with You'll Be in the Air, which is basically about her just flying away and leaving him. And he like surrenders to that thought. It's really difficult. That's what I saw anyway.
Okay. I interpreted it a little differently. Like, for me, the most uplifting song is I Felt My Size.
That one's pretty... That one's okay.
Which comes after I Am Bored. Like, I feel like this album has, like, to me at least, it has like some sort of an arc that like starts in the beginning with like just explaining the situation, like something has been lost and now the protagonist has to deal with it, and then it just like builds up all this sadness and grief and confusion until you get to Map and the two following songs, You'll Be in the Air and I Want to Be Cold. And I Want to Be Cold is like, for me, the climax of the sadness in this album.
Yeah. Like I Want to Be Cold is I want death, basically.
Yeah, it's like I'm feeling so bad, please just kill me so I don't have to feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
So I can be cold.
It's really interesting. Sorry for cutting you off, but like the progression from I Want to Be Cold, which is the climax of sadness, is really interesting because like then you go to I'm Bored, I Felt My Size, I Felt Your Shape, and then fucking Samurai Sword. So the way I see that is that like I Am Bored is him just, it's like impotence, complete impotence after the sadness. He doesn't even feel anything, which is like some of the higher stages of depression. I Felt My Size is him, it's like existential dread about his place in the universe. And especially I really like the lyrics about the fire and how he's like trying to warm himself up with a little bit of happiness left, but then his entire back is still cold because he can't produce enough happiness on his own, enough fire on his own. And he needs the heat from the sun, the heat from nature and life, but he can't get that because he's alone.
See,
and then like, what?
okay. See, the way I interpreted that is that in I Felt My Size, he kind of wakes up from that numbness from I am bored. Like, he's reminded that he's alive and that it's like that he can live again after what happened. And there's like also a line in there that says, I recalled my fire. Like, it's
Yes.
okay. There's like something there that I can look forward to, and I'm still alive. I can keep going.
But
It's
Graf,
interesting that
the
you say
lyric
his
is,
what?
the lyric is, I recalled my fire and my lack of dawn, and then it's like, my one-sided warmth, I just wanted more, but I'm small. So it's like he recalls his happiness and then realizes that he can't recreate it on his own. So it's like devastating.
It's like
way
he's so
I saw
depressed
it.
and so like that it breaks him that he's like emotionless, and then he like then comes I am bored, and then he like I don't know, the pace picks up again for a little bit, and
For a
then
little bit.
he realizes how awful it actually still is.
Yeah, because then you get I Felt Your Shape, and that was really interesting because it's basically him like completely fantasizing about the times he used to have with this girl. So he realizes that he shouldn't try to create that fake heat for himself in the previous song, but then he does it anyway. And I Felt Your Shape, and he goes even deeper down that rabbit hole of self-indulgent fantasy. And he knows it's wrong, and he realizes it's wrong at the end of the song. And that's what brings us to Samurai Sword, in which he's incredibly angry at himself for self-destructive behavior, incredibly angry at the world for doing this, and he just lashes out with all of his fury, all of his anger. He's not bored, he's not sad, he's just angry at himself and the world. And he's heading out there, and he's not trying to make himself better, he's not trying to make the world better, he's not trying to be happier, he's just lashing out. And, like,
Can I give one quick
That's
shout
the way
out
I saw
to
it.
the genius.com globe, how to like commenters on that album, because like it's always one comment with like one word or something, or like one little sentence, and then it has a bunch of upvotes. Like the one for Samurai Sword is just ow with 14 upvotes.
What, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay,
Ow.
I again have like a very different like interpretation of that part. Like for me, it's like, and I Felt My Size. He's like, okay, it's like the loss is still there, but I can still live. And then I Felt Your Shape. I thought he was like sort of like coming to terms with it. Like when he sings. It was dumb to hold so tight. Like he like acknowledges that maybe it wasn't like smart to like fall so deep into this. And then and my loss was overwhelmed by this new depth I don't think I ever felt. Like gives, I don't know, it like feels like something that he got out of it in a way. To me,
I feel like he's not talking about the relationship when he says it was dumb to hold so tight. I think he's talking about his behavior after the relationship. Like he's chastising
maybe,
himself
sure.
for
Maybe both.
still holding up so tight. Yeah, probably both. Like
Maybe
when
both.
he's saying, last night on your birthday in the kitchen, my grip was loose, my eyes were open. I felt your shape and heard you breathing. I felt the rise and fall of your chest. I felt your fall, your winter snows. It's like he's coming to terms with who she really was and how he needs to stop being so obsessed with her.
Yeah. And then in Samurai Sword, what I read into this was that the depression, like he's like sort of over it, like he's like accepted that maybe he should focus on other things. And then in the Samurai Sword, like depression just comes back and he's like battling it. Like depression is the bear that tries to bring him back down, and he's like battling it with the Samurai Sword. And then in the end, you get My Warm Blood, which is like, it feels like it's after a fight. And
Yeah.
and then it says, "My red blood is warm still," and it's like, I get why you don't think it has a happy ending, but it does have an ending where he is still alive, and if he's still alive, there's still hope, and that's how I interpret it. As long as his blood is warm, he has not died.
Honestly, that kind of
not
sound to me like it was like he was just bleeding out after a fight, and like that was the end.
Okay,
or it was
phrasing,
like right before the end.
The phrasing I see here is that like the insects are the ones that know the blood is warm, and I feel like there's something more to that I'm not realizing right now.
I mean, I can certainly see how you can interpret it differently, as him like being dead and there's insects swarming around him or something.
I feel like the insects is probably a metaphor for something different, though.
Okay,
Maybe, but also maybe not.
Like the way he says my blood barely flows versus the start where he's like, the start is powerful and hot blooded, and samurai sword is like the climax of that, and now he's just limp and powerless in a way. I just anyway, that's fine.
Man, just like the lyrics, like the way he writes, like so good. Like it's not only that it sounds like amazing within the instrumentals and all that stuff, but like it also sounds like it's very personal to him, and like lines can mean like different parts of like his mood and like his past and all that stuff like at once, and to the listener it can still mean different things that could also be very personal. Like, yeah, it's so
oh my
incredible.
Gosh, I just realized something. You're definitely right about that, Alex, but I just realized something. He says, "Oh, it's cold, my blood barely flows." So he is, like, they've used that as a metaphor for death before. So he is dying. I cracked the code. I did it.
Okay.
Anyway.
I wanted to have a more positive reading of this album.
This album hit way too close to home for me to want a happy ending. Well, I wanted a happy ending, but then I got that, and I couldn't possibly interpret it as a happy... Anyway, don't worry about it.
Well, I guess we can read different things into it, and that's like...
Yeah, of course. I don't want to co-opt your view.
No, I mean, I can see your interpretation. It's like... maybe he intended for it to be ambiguous. Or maybe I'm just dumb and can't analyze lyrics.
No, it's whatever it means to you is correct. That's what lyrics do.
I wanted to add to the way he writes. Like, I feel like sometimes he like establishes metaphors, but then he would like say something that kind of steps out of the metaphor again, in a way, or like could be read that way. But it also works within the metaphor. And that's just like...
Do you have an example?
Damn, I don't think I wrote it down. That's just a thought I had after I wrote all the notes. I think it was in...
I can see that. I definitely know what you mean.
So yeah, I guess we talked a lot about the meaning already.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's kind of interesting.
We didn't talk about the music at all.
Yeah. Like 90% of my notes are just like musical stuff, and like barely anything is about like the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, I was counting on that.
I don't have many musical notes this time around because I didn't. I only listened to it once, and it was really difficult. Well, I listened to the songs a couple times each, but I listened to it through once. And it was really difficult for me to listen, and I could only actually pay attention to the story because it was so difficult. But I do have a couple songs that I remember being really fun to listen to. Well, a lot of it is about creating a vibe more than creating a song, like a classic song structure, though.
Yeah. Like there were like 2 or 3 songs, like kind of at the 2/3 of the way through the album, that had like in comparison more of a classical song structure for like folk songs.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what did you write down, Lemon? If you want to start with the musical stuff.
Like I said, I don't have much to say. I remember really enjoying the harmonies and I Want Wind to Blow. Those long extended notes with beautiful layered vocals. Those are nice. The Glow Part 2 is really fun. It's a banger. It's powerful.
Iconic.
It's iconic. Samurai Sword just blasted out of nowhere, and like I was sitting on the train and I wanted to like get up and punch something. It was great.
It's really brutal.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just loud and
like the lack of transitions,
you.
of proper transitions sometimes really adds to that too, in my opinion.
Yeah, things just hit you.
Interesting because there's just even when there's songs that have like when there's songs that have a proper transition, because sometimes, like Graf was trying to say, sometimes the song will just come in and slap you in the face directly after the previous song, but then other times there's silence and a proper transition, but even in the silence there's this droning like low bass in the background that really sets the mood. I've
heard it's a foghorn.
What?
Might be a sample. Yeah. Maybe it kind of sounds like
not a sample
to me.
Okay, I don't know. It's just what I read somewhere.
Dude, like the silence is like the pain after the punch that keeps on lingering.
Yeah,
it kind of is. Yeah, it's kind of like, don't forget your. It basically makes you not lose immersion. It makes you not jump out of the album and back into the real world. It makes you like part of its own world until the full run of the album is over.
Yeah,
because even between songs, you're still hearing the ambient. You're still hearing the banging in his head, the migraine-like low bass. That's his depression or whatever.
Totally like the best album I know to like just get immersed in.
It's too sad for that man.
Well.
It is really sad. But there's also like this long silent part in the end, which seems to be just there to like think about the album. Like, what have I just listened to?
Well, like
it's
in
like
the background,
6 minutes of silence.
Weird snippets of the other songs.
Yeah, it's
there's
like
chord progressions
memories
and
of the whole thing flashing through, like as he dies, in my interpretation.
And at the end, there's just heartbeats that are like.
I couldn't tell if it's like it didn't sound like kick drums or something. It genuinely sounded like they just just recorded heartbeats. That is what it sounds like to me.
It's crazy.
It's like real heartbeats, and they turned the gain up a little bit.
Maybe
it's super cool how like I feel like more people should do that, but also like it's probably a bad idea to do it today. But like there are a lot of times in the album, like parts are just quiet, like really quiet. Like usually today you like, even if you don't want to use a compressor or something, for like quieter songs to make it like at least kind of as loud as the rest. It's like just way quieter than the rest. And I don't know, it's like it really adds to the immersion, I think. And like it's so rare to hear that.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the quiet parts.
Yeah,
like gives you time to like think about the song before that, and kind of maybe continues the mood or sets the mood for the next one.
Yeah. I really like how most of the time you can't even tell what instruments are being used. Like it's like either like an organ or an accordion or like a viola or something. And in one case, in map, like a bagpipe got introduced, and only then, like, that was like one of the few times where you could tell after a while that it actually is a bagpipe and not just like some other instrument that sounds kind of similar, because it's all like distorted and stuff and layered.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers in this instrumentation.
Yeah. And it's like really interesting how it's mixed. Like, to me, it sounds like it was recorded on a tape machine because of like the effects and the way stuff was only panned to the absolute left or right or the middle, or like mono to the middle, and there was like nothing in between. But they still had like so much ambient stuff, and like it sounded so balanced, even though like sometimes there was like only vocals on like pan to the left or something, and like other stuff pan to one side. And yeah, I liked how quiet the drums usually are. Yeah, it's always good.
I'm trying to remember. There's one song in particular. It might be "I'll Not Contain You" or something. There's this one song that's just got like this nice finger-picked acoustic guitar, like most of the album. But this one's turned up really, really, really loud, and he's playing with like anger in a way, because he's smacking the strings against the... He's almost like pulling the strings against himself and letting them go, and like you can hear the smack, and the he's being way too rough with the guitar on purpose to make the song sound serene, but also like really, really angry and rough. And it's pretty interesting how that one works.
I think that was cool. "I'll Not Contain You." What I wrote down for that song was that it had cool, like, they had two guitars panned to the left and right, and they were strumming like the same, strumming or picking the same chords, but like out of sync and like out of rhythm, and it made like a really cool texture. Yeah,
they definitely focused more on like creating a feeling than playing correctly or whatever.
Yeah. So sometimes I was like, you can't, I'm sure this guy was just like recording this,
like just taking the
5 different times and then picking one that sounded okay and moaning over it, and then mixing it into a genius track.
Yeah.
But sometimes the guitar parts are like, well, this is more from ambience than actually like a composed thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still good.
Yeah, sometimes it really
It was
felt
only
like
a couple
it.
songs like that.
But I mean, the guitar riffs on most of the songs are like really catchy.
Yeah, the main riffs are
really
super cool.
Good. Yeah. So this guy definitely knows how to play.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure.
But I still love coming back to albums like this one that like just remind me that like not doing everything as clean as possible, and like not hitting the pitches perfectly, and like leaving in imperfections of the voice, like just is good and sounds good and like humanizes the music by so much.
It just
so
makes
you're saying
for
this is the
much
Picasso
more relatable.
of an album?
No, I'm saying that I'm totally singing bad on purpose on my songs.
Dude, I swear.
Yeah.
Relatable.
What else?
There's one song where he just like completely goes off key. I don't remember which one it was, but he goes like, yeah, like screams. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Which one is it? It's near the end.
Yeah,
might be I Felt Your Shape. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I know in You'll Be in the Air, it almost sounds like he's crying at some point.
It's that one. Oh god, that one's so hard. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
I like the banjo in that one. Banjos are so emo.
I like the feeling of encroaching dread in that one.
Dude, same.
God.
I also like...
When I wake up, your pet will pounce on me and I'll meet the day. You'll be in the air, I'll be in your bed when I'm awake. She's gone. No!
No.
Anyway.
Yeah. I like the cool... Like... The cool dancey kick drum pattern they have sometimes. You know what I mean, right, Lemon? It's like just fast kicks, like on each
When did that happen?
beat. It happens sometimes on 2 songs, I think. Let me look through my very unorganized notes. On Map, there was a part which had like kind of fast kicks.
There's one part that has it's the
And
like sort of marching part
on the first track too,
yeah.
I think.
I just wanted to bring up the song that I guess I relate the most to on the album, or the one that like made it my favorite album. I think is Headless Horseman.
Really, that was my least favorite.
Okay, so I feel like the song is about like being directionless after losing something that you rooted a lot of things in your life. It's like you had something and you kind of used it to have direction in life, and then it's gone. It's just gone, and you become a headless horseman. You have no you don't know where to go because you have no head. You turned into a different person almost just from losing this pillar that you held on to.
I completely understand that, but that's exactly why I wasn't a huge fan. It felt like the most straightforward song out of the whole album. Like I listened to it once and I was like, okay, I get it. It's about this. And it's a feeling that's pervasive in the whole thing. So it almost feels like, I wouldn't say unnecessary, but it's kind of, it's not telling me anything new. I already know this person's getting fucked up because he lost something big and important. And I feel like this song just restated what was being said in the other songs in a way, without adding much to it.
That might be true, but it's the song that like kind of reeled me in. It was like, because at the time I started listening to the album more and more, I was in a similar situation because I felt like directionless. I felt like I had lost something, and then like it just pulled me in. And, yeah.
Now thinking about this song, like honestly, one of the lines that hit me the most were in that song, where it's like right at the end of the song, like there's this one line that's just, "I miss my closest friend," and I kind of at first I kind of felt bad that it hit so hard, even though it is so straightforward in comparison to the rest. But now thinking about it, I think I think like the context of like all the other imagery and stuff like adds so much to this line that it's like
it's definitely the most straightforward song, but it can be powerful.
It's not bad. It's not a bad thing that it's straightforward.
Yeah.
Maybe like in this, like because everything else is like shrouded in metaphors, and maybe because it's so straightforward, it becomes even more powerful since it's like the only one that like is as straightforward as that. Like it's like this is the one song where he's just like honestly stating what's up, and in the other ones he's like more confused in a way.
Maybe if it was near the end, it would work better for me as sort of like a summary of his points in a way. Being the fourth song, it just, you know, it could work for you. It kind of fell flat for me. I was kind of like, okay, I mean, I get you. Hit me with more metaphors, please. Give me all the sweet poetics. I know you're sad. Don't give it to me straight, Mr. Tim Burton's Headless Horseman movie. You know the one. Sleepy Hollow, that's the one.
To be also straightforward right now, I'm looking at the Genius page for that song, and it says sampled in a song by Lil Peep.
What?
And I just want to say, fuck Lil Peep. Like, I can't believe how...
I've never listened to Lil Peep.
I listened to, like, a little bit because some of my classmates are really into his music, but, like, it's so bad. I can't believe it. I can't believe how, like, I don't know how this happened. Like, if he
But
liked
Alex,
this album,
have you...
he probably... I don't know.
Have you ever had a Marshmallow Peep Oreo?
What?
It is the best. Please eat these. They're limited edition during Easter, and they're amazing.
Shit.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Wait, where can I get them?
I don't know. They had them at America stores here.
Damn.
Whoa, they look delicious.
Yeah, they look like something I can't eat.
Marshmallow flavored Oreos. They will fuck up your stomach, yeah. Like, don't eat more than 4. God, I remember there was this one time we were like 13. It was the height of gamer fuel memes, and I don't know if have you guys ever seen Saturday Night Fisticuffs with Super Best Friends Play, where like the intro is them opening like big bottles of Mountain Dew and and like big bags of Doritos and a big thing of Oreo cookies, like a big tray, the American-sized ones. And I just remember doing that with my friends when Skyrim came out, and we just like all hung out in this friend's attic in the most 13-year-old epic gamer Mountain Dew Doritos Oreo hangout ever I've ever had.
I definitely remember doing that and playing Call of Duty.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Good times.
Can,
I remember it fondly.
Can you bring some of those to SketchyCon? Do you have some?
I don't live. It's no. This is Easter shit.
Oh dang! Whoa, they're
We
also
can get
green ones.
We can probably order them from Amazon. Hold on, let me see if they have them on Amazon.
They're also green ones that taste like lemonade.
Whoa. We don't know when or if this item will ever be back in stock. Huh. I guess they don't have
Guess
them.
we'll just make them on our own.
There's probably a recipe somewhere.
Nice.
Just get a pink Copic and a marshmallow and put it between 2 cookies.
Ooh, limeade. That sounds delicious.
I think I have a pink marker somewhere. We can do that.
Sick, dog.
Where
were we?
So, any
Oh,
more
right,
thoughts
sadness.
on this album?
I like the few times, like the 2 times there were female vocals for like two
there's this
2 verses.
Those are the side thoughts he was banging after the breakup. Those are the more thoughts that we had.
Graf, you wanted to say something?
No.
Because I had something.
At the end of I Want to Be Cold, there's this female voice that just comes in, and
Also in Map.
Oh yeah,
that was really haunting. I loved that moment.
Yeah.
And it just cuts off somehow.
it is a
Good
weird one.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, when he says, "I don't want you to know," at the end of, this line is so powerful. I hope your flames don't grow. So he hopes that she's just as sad as him, which is one of the worst feelings you can feel, and I have been there. And then you're like, I want to be buried in snow. I hope your flames don't grow. I just want to be cold. I don't want you to know. He doesn't want her to know he's sad. He wants her to be as sad as possible, and he wants to die. It's so
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah. This is the peak of sadness in this album.
Oh my god,
this song.
so real.
So yeah, I definitely listen, like reading the lyrics and now discussing this with you guys. This album will never be the same to me after this recording.
Whoa, really? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna read so many more things into it now. Like
just
before,
projecting onto most of the songs.
I just related like my own situation when I first listened to the album to it, so it was like somewhat nostalgic in a way. And now I'm just gonna like interpret a lot of things into it and like read new stuff into it that is more about Phil himself maybe, and maybe I'll like reinterpret it as soon as like something similar happens to me again. It's like I feel like this album is gonna stay with me for a long time.
Yeah, this is totally an album like I can just like listen to like again every 3 or 5 years, and then it's gonna mean something different to me personally.
That's definitely
and hit
true.
just as hard.
That's how I would listen
to
it
hit
anyway.
Just as hard.
Yeah. I generally try to avoid music that makes me too emotional because I usually listen to music for fun while I do other things. So I don't generally enjoy music that just stirs up the old heart.
Dude, you can listen to
but
this.
I can definitely see myself listening to this like in a couple years and being like, holy shit, now I understand it in a whole different way. Having an epiphany or something. Sounds fun. Does sound fun.
That's what I look for in music, I guess.
Yeah, this album is like pretty timeless. Like it doesn't sound like
it is. Yeah.
It I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's from 2001. It sounds like it's like either 20 years older or newer than that. Like it's some kind of.
It could have been recorded at any time because it's so experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Oh yeah, I can bring up a bit about Mount Erie and like the project Phil is doing now, and he has continued to make sad albums. The last 2 albums.
He just doesn't get a break.
No, he doesn't get a break because I think it was 2 years ago his wife died of cancer, and he made 2 albums. One like I think like 3 months afterwards or something, and the other one a year afterwards. And I've listened to those. They're a lot more literal, a lot more straightforward. There's not that many metaphors, and they hit even harder for me. So I can't recommend
this guy
them,
going back to the Glow Part 2 and he's like, oh man, this is just about a breakup. Let me tell you this shit.
Oh, damn.
And he was like, that was some dumb girl I liked when I was a teen. Let me tell you about my wife. Strap in.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So, that was the Glow Part 2 by the Microphones.
Wait.
You still got something?
Alex had a thing to say.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I really liked about this album that none of you have mentioned is the sick fucking horns they have sometimes. Like, I can't believe how cool brass instruments are. They were also very good in this. Yes, that is all.
Like every instrument that is in this album just adds so much. Like, doesn't feel like anything is there just to be there. It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
To add to the atmosphere.
I really enjoyed. I don't remember which song it was, but there was this song that had this weird break with like space synths that were going all wee wee wee.
Oh yeah,
I really
yeah,
liked
yeah.
that part. That was fun.
That like reminded me of the Flaming Lips, sort of.
Whoa, the Flaming Lips! Now, sign me up. What's that?
You never listened to Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots?
No.
Okay, I'll
It's
share.
pretty cool.
That also sounds like something completely up my alley.
Yeah, it totally is. I think it was something too.
The
Alright.
Pink Robots.
Oh yeah, also something too. There was a cool noise part. Check out. Like I was really into.
Oh yeah, there was.
I was really into.
I think it was something
Yeah,
too.
I was really into harsh noise for a while, a couple of years ago. So that part is pretty cool.
My dog wouldn't stop barking. I was really into harsh noise. Oh.
Yeah, I listen to the construction site outside my window. I'm like, this is great noise music.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Come on. I'm sure somebody's actually thought that. I'm sure somebody's like gone to a construction site and just sampled the shit out of that and made an album.
Sure. I mean, that's the only reason I don't mind the construction site is because I enjoy noise music. I'm like, okay, if I imagine this is music,
this has an interesting texture.
Then I'm like, okay,
yes.
It doesn't bother me that much.
Unironically, that yes, but also look at that. This image is
I made a
burnt.
3-hour ambient album.
Why is he so buff?
just imagine like typical fitness, typical gym guy, and he like, I made a 3-hour ambient album.
Yeah, I love this image.
Is that Toad from Mario?
No, it's just some.
Is that Gangsta Toad?
Yeah. So the image will be on
record
screen.
your dishwasher, put it in Paul Stretch.
Just the dishwasher. Oh damn, Paul Stretch is so underrated. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
I just got
tomorrow.
reminded of this image. Like this buff guy says, I made a 3-hour ambient album, and then some other guy says, oh wow, so I did my dishwasher. Like some fucking low-res anime girl in the background type of guy. Yeah.
That's my favorite type of guy, the little anime girl.
Yeah, I really love this image.
It's very
This
funny.
is great.
Yeah.
This should be an album cover.
No.
And it's all dishwasher samples.
Dude, you know how I used to do glitch art, and there's a way to like make really cool glitch art, and that is by importing an image into Audacity and then like applying like effects on it, and then exporting it in like as the same file.
You should import an image of Sans and then like waveform.
Could you fucking imagine like 20 years ago, like some
put Megalovania into the image as a waveform and then export it out, and like you can record music by making glitch art, because if you import the glitch art into Audacity, it plays Megalovania.
What are we? So I guess we're checking out an album that I recommend next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than one
Which
album.
one?
I mean, honestly, I'm like not
right.
sure anymore.
Oh, come on, man.
Don't make the decision now.
You know, I really want like to ask for us to check out an album that is like very me core, like it was for you guys. But like I've been thinking.
Mine wasn't. Well,
I've been thinking. Is it either gonna be like harsh noise? Is it gonna be like Midwest emo that is clean like American Football, or like more punk-ish like Snowing, or like some video game soundtrack that's cool? I honestly don't know. Shoegaze would also be an option.
my internet died thanks to your indecisiveness.
Yeah.
I'll be up to talk about harsh noise.
Let's talk about an album by a Japanese shoegaze band called Dots, which is the name is just a bunch of dots. And
I know that one.
and the album,
I know that one.
yeah, because I showed it to you probably. Because I sent it to you.
No, I've known it before.
Yeah, the band is called Dots. It's a shoegaze idol group.
Whoa!
Which also
Is it just 3 cute girls staring at their shoes?
It's more than 3 girls. It's like 7 or something.
Whoa!
Yeah,
7 girls staring
and
at
the
their
album
shoes.
I want us to listen to is Untitled. It's just an Untitled album. Yeah. It's
Imagine trying to launch an idol group with like no album name.
it's not called Untitled. It's just like those brackets, like where you put in a song name in Japanese, but it's like nothing in it. Yeah, it's
love No Game No Life.
Shut up. It's okay. It's untitled. It's Untitled by Dots. That's what we're gonna listen to. Yeah.
Sounds fun. I want to listen to this.
It's super fun. I've listened to it so many times over the years. I mean, it's not that old,
Dots.
but I've listened to it many, many times.
Yeah, I'll put the name in the description so people can look it up.
The link is in the description.
What name? Dude, one of the songs is called Soda Float Kibun, and the other one is called Trinity Drive. That's pretty fucking cool. And then there's a song about cider. Oh, I can't wait until the next episode.
Yeah, it's super dope. Let's hope we won't
I need to
record the next one in like 2
listen to
months.
more shoegaze anyway.
Dude, and the last song is 1998. I was born there.
Damn. Okay.
Well,
Damn. This album is literally me.
No, it's me.
Sorry, Alex.
Oh, there's coming from me from 1 year ago on that link I posted. Nice.
Hold on, where I need to give you a thumbs up. Where's Kumi? There it is.
Oh, you
Where's
have
Kumi?
11 thumbs up already.
How to spot me in public if it's just Kumiko.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy looks like he likes Kumiko.
Should we wrap it up, guys?
Yeah.
You should always wrap it up in the name of safety.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
You know.
Now I want us to parappa the rap.
Okay.
Okay, let's wrap it up so I can listen to you.
Alright, guys. It's been a bash.
Yeah.
See you next episode of Freaky
thanks for
Fridays.
listening.
Yeah, have fun being sad.
Sick Jam Sundays.
And until next time.